Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Thaco Gamers. My name is Matt, and we're going to talk about Mage's Tale coming up here in a second. So, Mage's Tale came out a couple of months ago for the Oculus Rift, and it's pretty cool. It's made by In Exile Entertainment. They're the same people that brought you Wasteland 2 and Bard's Tale, actually. And this game actually takes place in the same universe as Bard's Tale. And it has a lot of the same comedy and everything else that Bard's Tale has. It's a pretty good game. It's a lot of fun. And let's get right to it and talk about it. First thing I want to talk about is the controls. The first thing they say about a game, that we have different camps on this. There's the motion sick people that like teleportation in games. There's the people that want more realism and want to be more immersed in the world. They want to be able to just walk around in the game, either with their physical body or by hitting the forward button to have your character just walk in the game. And guess what? Good news for everybody involved. You got both. So as far as that goes, everything there is totally good. And if you can't, if you want to do the 360 and be able to turn around behind you, you can do that with no problem if you have the extra sensor for the Oculus. And if you don't, you can do standing just facing forward, and you can change which way you're facing with the right controller to just turn directions of your character in the game. It's really cool. The way they worked all that in was really great. Another thing that they do too, if there's something that you can pick up, you don't have to necessarily bend down and pick it up. You can just press a grip button, and if you're pointed towards it, that thing will teleport into your hand. And it's pretty cool. It's a lot of games kind of do that. If you get within the vicinity, you pick them up, but it kind of just cheats and it just pops up right there in your hand. And this one's neat because it makes you can grab things that are further away and you watch them teleport to you, and it gives you that extra kind of feeling of being a mage or whatever. But they did a good job. It's incorporated very well, done very well. Next thing I want to talk about is the graphics. The graphics for this game are amazing. I mean, they're absolutely wonderful. The people in there, the characters in there look really cool. The walls, the rocks, the water, the spell effects, all of that. It's really good for a VR game. They just nailed the graphics on this. It's probably top of the line as far as VR games go for graphics. I have no complaints about it. Is it 100% realistic? No, but it fully immerses you in the game, and you forget that you're standing in your living room or in your computer room or wherever it may be. So they nailed the graphics, did an excellent job. I couldn't be happier with it. Now let's get into the gameplay of the game. Basically, you're a mage and you cast spells, and you have fire spells and ice spells and lightning spells, and it's mostly like ranged combat. You'll pick up a sword every now and again, but you don't keep it from what I've seen. Maybe a little bit later in the game you do. There's pickaxes on occasion. You can bust down walls and stuff like that, but those are usually situational. They're not things that you get and carry with you through the rest of the game. Mostly you're just a caster, you're a mage, and the story of the game, right at the start, your master gets injured and taken, and it appears to be your job to rescue him with kind of an asshole orco mage dude that really he doesn't seem to like you very much, but he helps you. So yeah, that's how that goes. With the combat, there's lots of dodging, ranged spells, ranged things coming at you that you have to get out of the way of, so it's pretty cool. And you're doing the same thing, casting them back. And to target people, when you look at them long enough, it'll kind of zero in on them, and it'll help make your spells more accurate when you toss them out to them. So it's a pretty cool concept, and the gameplay is really fun. I honestly, one of the reasons that it took me a while to get this game is I was playing a lot of games like Vanishing Realms with the sword play, which I really, really enjoy, and the idea of just being a caster only wasn't too intriguing to me, but it was really good, and it was a lot of fun. The levels are very well designed. They're a lot of fun to go through. There's a lot of exploring. There's a lot of cool puzzles. There was even this one room that I went into, and I found a crystal ball. And when you look through it, you can see things in the room that aren't there for real, and they give you clues to puzzles that you need to solve. So that's a lot of fun. And there's a fair amount of mixture of puzzles and action, gameplay, and exploration. So all of that's wrapped together really well, and I honestly have no complaints with any of it. I think there's just enough of all of it, and it's a really good time. The final thing that I want to talk about, which is really huge in VR, and it's incorporating things, simple things like menus. A lot of games, they don't know how to do it. There's still a pause menu, and you have to click through things and do this other stuff. They did one thing about Mage's Tale that I think they did uniquely. Is like your options table is actually like kind of like a crafting table, and there's buttons on the table to turn stuff on and off. If you want to continue or exit the game, those are potions that you grab and drink. So they did a good job of really making everything be a part of the game, which is enjoyable, even if it's a silly menu, an options menu or something like that. To turn on subtitles or the reticle on the screen, there's a stone button on the table that you push, and it activates that and becomes a part of the game. So I thought that was really neat. And another thing, when you hearth back or like teleport back to your home area, your home zone, you don't push a button, you don't do anything else. You just hold one arm above your head, or both arms if you want to, and they tell you in game to look at your hand and focus on it for a while, and that'll teleport you back. And as you do that, holding your arm up above your head and looking at your hand, all of a sudden things will start swirling, and then you just teleport back to your home base there. And that's a really neat way to do that. And I'm excited that games are incorporating more things like that instead of pause menu, teleport to home, or whatever it may be. So totally simple thing to be able to include in there, and it was really neat how it worked. And finally, the last thing I want to talk about is the spell crafting. As you find things and unlock stuff, you send them in your like teleportation frog or whatever he is that sends stuff back home. And when you get there at your spell crafting table, you have all these potions that you found and stuff like that, and you can make your spells. And it's pretty neat because you can grab the ice spell and then throw an enchantment in it, and then grab a certain color that you want to throw in there, and grab your fire spell and dump your fire spell in, and then grab a bottle that, you know, whether you want it to be seeking or guided and everything else, and the different colors do different things to your spells. And after you craft this spell, you mix it all together and put it on your spell sheet, and then you can cast it in the game. And you can make all these different spells and try them all out, and it's not as confusing as it seems. It's really intuitive. You just get there and you know exactly what you're doing, and it just makes a lot of sense, and it's really cool. So overall, my rating for Mage's Tale, honestly, if you're into RPGs, this is probably the best one out there in my mind, in my opinion. But what's that worth? No, not really that much. But hey, I like VR. I like the game. I think it's great. Before this, Vanishing Realms was probably top of my list, and I think this beats Vanishing Realms. It beats it for graphics. It beats it for gameplay. It beats it for story. It beats it for length of game. More bang for your buck as far as game goes. Everything. And Vanishing Realms, I loved that game. And Mage's Tale, it tops it. It's way better. So if you got a chance, get it with the Oculus. It's a great game. If you don't have that, and all you have is the Vive, there are ways that you can go about getting that. I think it's Revive maybe, but I've never tried it because I have both, so I just play whichever one I want to on the other. But I have heard that you can play the Oculus games with that too. I do suggest playing this game though. You guys will love it. And hey, thanks for joining me. If you liked the video, please feel free to throw me a like or a subscribe. If you got any comments about this game, put them down there in the comment section. I would love to hear what you have to say. And I don't know. I guess if you have any other games that you'd like me to check out, let me know and I'll check it out. Why the hell not? Because I got nothing better to do but play video games and record me doing it. So thank you guys for joining me in the Thaco Gamers. And thank you. 2017 is almost over. We're moving into 2018. And yeah, there we go. See you guys later.